Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to Sim Racing Bar. We're live for the first time in 2 weeks. It seems like ages we've been live, but we're back again. And I hope you brought your raincoat with you this evening because we're going to be checking out some wet weather racing in rFactor 2. First live stream of rFactor 2, in fact. So, yeah, it should be fun. So, it's been a bit wet here where we live over the last week or so. Some really heavy downpours and things. So, I thought, well, let's put that into the sim. Let's do some wet weather driving in the sim, because I think for a lot of people, they tend to go sim racing and they instantly go to dry conditions and they just go out and drive because, you know, you want the ideal conditions for your driving. But not everyone goes straight for the rain. I think if you're one of those drivers who, if you naturally, the first thing you do when you jump into a sim is put rain on, let me know in the comments because I want to know. Because I think most people, pretty much guaranteed, will go straight for dry weather as soon as they get in the sim. So let's put that right tonight. Let's go into the sim and we'll add some rain and see how we get on. We're going to try and learn the art of racing in the rain tonight. That's the game. That's the aim of the game this evening. So let's get over into the sim. Good evening, Personic. Welcome along. Good to have you with us. And let's get over into the game now. All right. So let's get myself in here as well. First things first, so I thought we would start off a little bit easier. Just break things in gently. So we're in the BMW M2 CS, and we're going to go to the Nürburgring Sprint. So what we're going to do here, got 60 minutes of practice in heavy rain, and then we have a quick 10-minute race just to see how we get on, putting that what we learn in the practice to action. So let's load in and get started. So we've got 29 cars on the grid here, and yeah, so I've got it on the scripted weather, but it's just going to be just all heavy rain. So there's a potential for the track to get very, very wet towards the end, so we'll see. Let's see how we get on. So Personic says normally set to current weather, AMS2, so yeah, that'll be real weather, so yeah, it's good. So that'll obviously give you, depending on what's going on, so that might give you a bit of variety, but even Raymond says, "Hello, Phil and chat, good to see you race in RF2." Yes, no, as I say, first live stream in RF2. So yeah, I've been running a little bit recently, actually, just kind of quite enjoying running rFactor 2. It's been quite nice. It's running nice and smooth on my PC, and everything is just, yeah, I'm just dialing it in a little bit, just trying to get the feel right. So yeah, it should be fun. Just loading the final bits and pieces. Here's Funky, welcome along, good to have you with us. Welcome guys, thanks for joining us and being back on the channel. I know I've been away for a little while and I apologise for that. Life has just been busy, there's been stuff going on, so it's good to be back. So let's jump in and see how we get on. We can see the rain is pouring down here at the Nürburgring, and we have a full 30 car grid of BMW M2s. So first things first, let's just jump out on track and get used to the wet. So yeah, anoraks on everybody. We're going to go out into the dreadful weather. So first of all, we need to put our lights on so we don't get disqualified. And then once we come out into the rain, we'll put our wipers on as well. Okay, so obviously rear wheel drive. So we need to be a little bit careful of some of these corners because it's going to be a little bit treacherous. There we go. Release the limiter. Off we go. And to turn 1 here. Now, of course, with RF2, the weather starts off and then, obviously, over time, it builds and the track gets wetter and wetter. So you can see there's perhaps a little bit of a line from the cars ahead of us on the track there. But I do suspect that the track will get much more visibly damp very soon. One thing I have forgotten to do, which would explain why it's particularly slippery, is we're currently on slicks. So with RF2, I'm so used to it being in AMS2, where it's set to automatic tyres for the weather conditions. That's not the case here in rFactor 2. You actually have to change your tyres to wet weather before you go out on track. Otherwise, you end up with a no grip situation such as this, which is actually quite fun, but not the quickest way around the racetrack when the precipitation comes down. Even Steve, welcome along. Good to have you with us. I've got someone up my rear end here coming through the kink, which is treacherous. Funky says, we just had a literal monsoon downpour in North Scotland tonight. Never seen anything like it before. Yeah, we've had some crazy weather, haven't we? We had a ridiculously warm and dry June, and now we've had some just massive rain with really heavy downpours and huge puddles appearing and things. So, yeah. Hence the reason for doing some wet weather racing this evening, because I feel it's very topical for for the UK right now. Right, let's just get back in here and we'll get on some wet weather tyres. So here we go. Tyres, not slicks. Thank you very much. Rain tyres. That's what we want. Should have a bit more available grip now, which is what we want. Let's put the lights back on again. Windscreen wipers are going absolutely berserk. Don't need that. Just gentle for the time being. Let's not get too carried away. But what I do love, I think the rain in RF2 actually looks really, really good. I love the effects on the windscreen with the water being wiped away. Oh, someone's had an off down at turn 1. See? It's not going to be the only one. I'm sure there'll be plenty more moments like that. Here we go. You can see the track is now visibly wetter. There's a bit of a sheen and some puddles appearing on the surface. There you go, in the middle of the corner there. But I think it looks really nice in the wet. Now the gearing in the M2 is kind of interesting, so I'm going to leave it in quite high gears, but I think it's needed. Supersonic says, are you in beta for AMS2? I'm not actually. I've not got access to the beta, so all you guys who joined up with Paddock Club and or previous members of the beta, I'm pretty sure you're enjoying some interesting stuff right now. Okay. Feel our way around this initial opening lap here just to figure out what kind of grip we have available and how much we can actually apply that throttle. So yeah, you can see there's a real shine on the road now, but you can also see there's a little bit where you can see where the cars have been. There's a track appearing. It's not obviously a dry line, but let's just say a slightly less wet line. But that's really cool. You can kind of follow that. There's a first off over the gravel. We're back on though, it's good. Right, big pedal on the apex of the hairpin. So, you guys looking forward to 1.5? Are you waiting patiently? Or are you hammering that F5 refresh button every day? I keep seeing... Ooh, there's a moment going on there. I keep seeing my AMS2 go into requiring an update mode, but that's really frustrating because I get really excited, like, oh, is it happening? And then it's just a cloud sync. It's like, oh. We'll get it there eventually. The guys are working on it. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely worth our while. Alright. Now, as you can tell, at the moment I'm driving traditional dry weather lines here. So what I want to test out is whether or not you can actually get a little bit more grip off the racing line, which is how you would normally find wet weather conditions. So you'd run these really unorthodox wide lines through the corner, because those of you who know motorsport or have been around it for a while, when it is wet on track and there's a whole lot of rubber being laid down on the surface, the racing line is actually slipperier than the other parts of the track which haven't got the rubber laid down. So in the dry you want a layer of rubber for extra grip through the corners, but in the wet that's the worst thing you could possibly have. So curious to test that out and see if that works. Oh, for Sonic, stop it. Teasing us now, saying it's going to be a treat next week maybe. Okay, it's going to be good next week. You have the release of the new Porsche pack for Race Room coming up next week as well, which I shall be covering. I think it's on the Thursday, from memory. But then if AMS2 1.5 drops next week, it's gonna be a good week. Right. So now we're definitely getting into the realms of proper wet weather here, as another AI car loses at turn 1. Now, of course, this car is maybe not quite as advanced as some of the other cars we're going to be testing out this evening. So there's other things that we can get into which you would look to change in a wet weather condition. I wonder, can we change? Doesn't give me any readout of what I've changed there, I don't think. But ideally, you would want to move your brake bias backwards when it's wet to try and prevent those front tyres from locking and debraking. Whoa! Here we go. There's that wheel spin. So everything in the rain needs to be smoother, more precise. So let's get past this BM. Of course, they're all BMs, so we'll get past that one in particular. Yeah, so everything needs to be particularly smooth in the rain. So your throttle inputs, your steering inputs, the braking application as well. Anything you can possibly do to prevent the car from getting a bit of a shock from any input, thereby breaking traction and causing you all sorts of issues. Also, we shouldn't really be touching any curbs, as they're particularly slippery with the paint. Whoa. So although probably not the quickest way around the track, it is rather fun going sideways in the rain. So Frank says, if I'm too much of a mean Scotsman to do the Paddock Club, I did buy DLC I didn't own this myself. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think Paddock Club, I think it's at $100 or something to start off with, which is, on the face of it, quite a lot, but obviously you get an awful lot of upcoming content and obviously access to beta as well, and you're supporting the devs who are doing a great job with all the work that they're putting in. So yeah, if you can, definitely encourage you to do it. Whoa. Steady. Okay, it's getting properly wet now. But we are catching cars ahead of us here. Right, let's test out some wet lines here. Let's go a little bit wider through this right-hander down the hill. So I know that not all sims have rain in the first place, but not all sims actually simulate wet weather lines. I'm aware that there's word of AMS2 doing that at some point in the future. But if you know of any particular sim which manages to do that, let me know. Because as far as I'm aware, I don't think any of them properly simulate it, but we'll see how we get on here with rF2 if that's the case. Obviously, all you iRacing fans out there, patiently waiting for rain. Ooh, goodness, that's a completely missed corner by a couple of AI cars there. Whoa. And we've got carnage, by the looks of things. AI are absolutely having a real issue around here. But yeah, so iRacing guys, you're looking forward to the rain. So it's one of those things, isn't it? Sim racing in the rain. It's one of those topics we were desperate for it back in the day when we were running the likes of GTR 2. We got rain there, and then we were desperate for working wiper blades, which we managed to get in Race 07 or Race WTCC. So everyone was wanting the rain. We were all wanting this opportunity to do our sim racing in inclement weather such as this. However, nowadays we have a few options when it comes to rain in sims. But is it something that we avoid? We've wanted it all this time, and now we've got it. We stay away from it and just stick to dry weather because it's more fun, or easier, or whatever it may be. So, a bit of an odd one. But if your PC is capable of handling the rain, definitely worth venturing out. We're carving through the field here, and I know it's only practice, but... Ooh, still there. I think he's still on the inside. He may have ducked out, but we'll see if he misses the chicane like the last slot did. Thankfully we didn't get speared. Had to slam the brakes on at the exit of the corner, not what you'd want to do really. Ooh, now we're getting some understeer, followed by copious amounts of oversteer. Just solidifying our position on the track there. So Sonic, RF2's Lemons DLC out soon. You mean Le Mans Ultimate? It's supposed to be end of the year, I think, isn't it? Oh goodness, cars are everywhere. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be end of the year. Obviously, standalone game based around RF2, but with everything current for Le Mans, and apparently some historical stuff as well. But yeah, it's supposed to be out end of the year, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that's pretty good. I know there's a lot of people a little worried or skeptical about it, but but I'm actually looking forward to it. I think I'm going to give it a fair chance and give it a go, because I think it could be good. Let's go around the outside here casually, as you do. What it is worth saying is that rain racing does work wonders for your car control. If you're wanting to dial in a little bit of car control at the limits, or figure out what to do when the car gets sideways, go out on the rain. Perfect opportunity. Hey Zhao, welcome. Does Le Mans will be a standalone game? Yes, it will. Absolutely. Lemons. There are Lemons races, aren't there, where they have basically really old, not very good cars, and they're racing for 24 hours. There we go, just doing our AI thing there. Right, well, we are currently seemingly much quicker than the AI, but we are also not the tightest either, so I'm pretty sure we can go quicker, but it doesn't look good though, with all the standing water and the puddles and things. Ooh, send it on the inside. Don't turn in on me. I'm here. There we go. Ooh. So yeah, what we're going to do, we're going to test out a variety of different cars and tracks this evening in the wet. So we're going to do some kind of saloon cars or high-powered saloon cars like this, some touring cars, some GTs, some single-seaters as well. So we're going to test them all out, see what they're like in the rain. Okay, well, having said that we're massively quicker, we're actually only sat P6 overall there, so let's just go back to the menu here and let's have a quick look and see what's going on. So how far off are we? Oh, there's only a couple of tenths off it, so not too far behind. Obviously, those laps could have been set earlier on when it was not as wet. But yeah, so what kind of changes would you make in wet weather? So we're going to do some learning together this evening and just kind of get used to what you would do here. So for me, if you're having some rain tyres on your car, you want as much of that rain tyre tread in contact with the ground, because that's what clears the water and bites into the tarmac and gives you the grip. So for me, I would think we would look to try and reduce cambers. There it is. Okay, so it's on -3 degrees at the moment. It's obviously standard. It's obviously standard setup here. No wet setup applied at all. I don't know if they have got. No, they don't do wet setups available for you to just load straight away. So let's take off a little bit of camber. It's as much as we can take off. Do the same on the rear. Okay. And then let's go test that out and see what difference that makes. So, in theory, that should give us more bite into the tarmac on the road, so we have, in essence, more grip. Now, we've only dropped it down by a degree, so it doesn't sound like much, but stunning those tyres up a little bit more may well give us what we need. We'd also look to soften the suspension off as well. So in the dry, obviously cars are moving at much quicker speeds, and the forces through the corners are a lot higher, so you need to have quite a stiffly sprung car to help keep the balance of the car and also just kind of maintain that stance, that position through the corner. So when that speed isn't as high and you need to have additional grip, it can be beneficial to soften the suspension off a little bit, which then makes the car move around a little bit. So you're using the natural weight of the car to kind of add extra grip to the outside wheels and tyres as you go through the corners. So using that weight and throwing it around helps with just basically getting any kind of purchase on the track surface. So we'll test out with the canvas first. You don't want to make too many changes too soon. The cars are good as well. They're all covered in water. You can just see them, raindrops all over it. Whoa! Wasn't expecting him to put the brakes on in the middle of that kink. Should have expected that. Blue flags here. Come on with it. Alright, let's clear him through here then. Right. So what I have also done, just recently, I usually run my ASIC pedals, so in the profile system for the pedals, I usually have my throttle pedal to be on a curve, quite a steep curve at the start, so it's a lot of throttle response early on, which I was finding it to be quite useful for applying throttle early and getting out of the corners. But what I have done more recently is I've changed it to a linear curve again, so it's just the same all the way through. So that, in one way, will help with traction off the corners because I'm not applying too much throttle too soon. So what you could do, if you felt that if you felt that your throttle was just too harsh coming off the corners, is if you have the ability to do so with your pedals, you can with the Acertex, you can with the hosing belt pedals as well, is you could actually change that throttle curve so that it's the opposite way to what I was saying before. So it's a curve, but starts off gradual and then gets steeper towards the end. So for the smaller amount of throttle input you put in, it's not applying as much to the car itself, so it helps with just a little bit of lead-footedness, really. So if you're feeling like you're just slamming the pedal down too early and then just spinning the rear tyres, you could play around with the throttle curves just to see if that improves things. But we're on a linear one for the time being. Oh no, you come. Too eager to get back on track and lit the car up. It almost came back into us then. So Alaman TT track is awesome in the sim. I've not tried it actually. I think I have had it on the sim in the past, but I've never really done too much with it. I'll have to reinstall that. Come on, Phil, turn left onto Green Hill, you know you want to. Maybe we will open that barrier up. That'll be an interesting experience in the wet. Okay, it's stopped into the left-hander here. Everything is just so much slower in the wet. It's like I'm on ice at times, but Alright, let's try and smoothen things out here. I was talking about being smooth earlier. Let's actually put that into practice, rather than just having too much fun. So although you're trying to be smooth, you do sometimes need to make some quick adjustments on the steering wheel. It's not just a case of just turning in once and leaving it there and understeering off the track. You've got to kind of balance the car, just feel where the grip is, but a lot of that balance also comes from your right foot as well, so important to get that right. On the curbs there. Alright, under board, on the brakes. Down to third. Oh, Bimmer's going ploughing. Lots of standing water out now. There wasn't much that could stop that from going around then. Right. Let's do one more quick thing and then we'll jump into the race. So let's go do what we talked about with softening the suspension off here. So let's go spring rates. Let's drop that down as much as we can. Maybe raise the ride height a little bit. And let's just drop everything down a couple of clicks here. Keep the same kind of rates, but just a little bit softer. Anything else that we can mess around with there? Tire pressures is another thing you can probably play around with, but let's just try the suspension changes here, and then, as I said, we'll jump into a race and see how we get on. I'm pretty sure track pit exits that way. The AI may be a little bit lost. There's a quick 3.7 at the end of the pit lane there. This isn't AI session, I promise. This isn't an online multiplayer lobby. I don't think it is anyway. Okay. That was unexpected. Evening, Kevin. Welcome along. Alright. We have the track pretty much to ourselves at the moment. Let's see what happens when we've softened off the suspension. So also what you'd find with softening off the suspension in the wet is the car becomes less snappy, so you don't get that massive, sudden oversteer moment which is just like whipping a tablecloth out from underneath you, just so straight away you're sideways. Should be a little bit more progressive. That was a forced wet line there. Even Gareth, welcome along for my golf buddy there. Massively into my golf recently. Anyone else like golf? Hopefully that's not scared too many people off. Right. Let's get up to speed here with our new setup and see how we go. I think a lot of the AI have given up at this point. Too busy floating around. Oh no, here's one. Whoa. On the lock stops. Thread the needle. Don't reverse. Ah, my gap was closing. Oh well. So, I mean, it was feeling alright up until that point. nearly missed it. But, unfortunately not. Right, let's go do a race. Let's just jump straight into it. Accession. I've got it on a random grid position as well, so who knows where we'll be on the grid here. Call for good walk spoiled. Right. The race time isn't it yet? So we've got a 10-minute race here, so let's make sure we have enough fuel on board here. That's just strategy. Starting fuel 17 laps. Yeah, should be plenty, I would have thought. So where are we? Great, 29th. Alright, that's fine. It means we have some work to do and see how we can carve our way through the field here. So we work quicker than most of them. Jimmy Tank Slapper. What a name that is. Quite relevant in today's weather conditions. Okay, I don't know who thinks of these AI names, but some interesting ones in here. Right, so where are we going to get to? We've got 10 minutes. Where am I going to end up in this particular race? How many of them are going to fall off? Are we going to make it through? Are we going to crash into some crazy AI drivers? Let's find out. Back of the grid. Lights on, wipers on. Ease it away from the line. Not too bad. It's actually dried out a little bit since our qualifying session or practice session, so not too wet to start off with. However, that will change. Squeeze to the outside there, don't mind. I'll take the space on the exit. Just ease it through. No crazy shenanigans so far. Cars everywhere. On just a second here, this is probably too low of a gearing, but at the pace we're going at the moment, we can get away with it. There's a tap. Straighten me up, thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, we survived. That's the main thing. We'll get him. We'll get him back. Welcome, Matthias. It says rF2 is king. But you're a fan of rFactor 2? I must say I am coming around to it a lot more these days. Now I'm getting things dialed in a little bit more. And it's running beautifully as well. Right, back on the case. Let's see. Got a train of BMWs all up ahead of us there. Try and make hay before the rain comes fully. Before it gets totally saturated. Hard on the brakes. Okay. Line up and move for the inside of turn 1 here, shall we? Let's get the power down nicely on the exit. Well, getting away from us, but oh, look at this lot. Defending like crazy. Let's just run it in here. Not too greedy. Only want one. AI are doing pretty well for the time being, but they may come back to us when the puddles come up. Let's see if we can around the outside here, which gives us the inside for the right-hander. There we go. Nice. Let's move on. So we're still running our soft suspension setup here as well, so this is an in-race test. I'm being quite careful and coy to start off here, but I do suspect there could be some chaos on the horizon. If I roll out of that one, it's not the gap. Sometimes you gotta know when you're not gonna get through. You just gotta lift off and wait for the next opportunity. Let's see if we can send one at the inside here. There we go. Cool. Another spot gain, so we're up to 25th now. Only got 10 minutes, so we haven't got long, but there's a yellow flag up front here, which means chaos is already happening. There's a car turn around. It's another freebie for us. So, top 15 is first target, I think. And if we can get top 10, brilliant. Around the outside again. Ooh, come on. Let's get going. Don't know what that blue one was doing. All over the place. Right, might get a few into here. We do. 22nd. 21st. Starting to slice through the field a bit now. They are getting away a little bit, so you can start making some moves here. Larry. So yes, a question posed at the beginning of the stream for those who have joined in is when you load up a sim for the first time, do you load up a dry session or do you load up a wet session? So I'm pretty sure 99% of people will go straight to a dry session, they won't load up a wet session. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. And let me know what your preference is. See if we can get on the inside here, which we can. Okay, that's top 20 position now. Nearly wasn't. Okay, we held on to it. P19. Track is getting wetter, but it's not quite to the same level of wetness as we had earlier on. So grip levels are still reasonable. Well, reasonable for a damp track. I love you can see the wheel tracks ahead. It's really quite it's quite cool. Yeah. Gareth, you're an iRacing guy, so you have no choice in the matter currently. This is dry or dry. But yep, soon. Trademark. Interesting to hear what everyone's thoughts are on what rain will do for iRacing. We know that it's coming. You know, people going to just duck out of races if it starts off being wet? Or are they going to stick with it? And obviously iRating will be affected if they drop out, but... Oop, another freebie. But yeah, so interesting to see what people are going to think when rain does come. The M2 is very nice, actually. It's good fun to drive, nicely balanced. So, Kevin says, if I watched a real-life wet race, I might recreate it in a sim. Okay. Yeah, so if you've been just watching something, you thought that was a good race, I want to have a go at that myself. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Sometimes I do random in AMS2 or real weather, or random date, otherwise dry. Okay. Yeah, so that just leaves it all up to, well, to a bit of chance, which is how it is in real life, so that's cool. Sonic says, in my own humble opinion, unpredictable is the best weather for sim racing. Yeah, no, I agree. It's always best to leave it on randomised weather because you never know what the weather's going to give you. So, always best to just go with whatever it delivers to you. Arito, welcome. Good to have you with us. Welcome along to the channel. I'm new here. How's the race going so far? Oh, well, big warm welcome to you. It's going pretty well. We're up a few positions from the back. We started off P29. We're now in 18th. It's only a 10-minute race, so don't think we have too much time left, but we'll see how we get on. It's, I mean, they're all bunching up down here. There's a bag of positions we can grab here. We just need to get our act together and get it done. Oh, steady. Despite a couple of spins, the AI are actually holding up pretty well so far. None of them are driving the wrong way down pit lane, which is nice. Funky's like dry, but it's a bad habit. Yeah, I can see that. It's just what you're used to, isn't it? You just kind of naturally go towards a dry track, but this is actually getting pretty wet now, and I think the AI is starting to feel it a little bit. Getting a little bit of mistake happening from the guys ahead. We've got 2 positions there, we're going to grab another one here. There's our P15 we were looking for. Now top 10 is the goal. Let's see if we can get it. So Gaz says, I think iRating will be less of a thing. It will make the game more enjoyable. Okay. Yep. I mean, if it starts raining once you're in there, before you even... Well, you start off in the dry and it starts raining partway through, you have no choice. You're in there and you have to make do. So it will make it pretty interesting. Whoa. It's 14th. It's another position. Oh, we ran out of time. But we got top 15 though, so we made our first target. That was good. Enjoyed that. It's reasonably close racing. Obviously it's single rate. There was another freebie. One more lap we would have had you. Ooh. And you. It's descended into pure chaos at the end of the race there. Right. The P14 then. Not a bad start for our wet weather antics for the evening. And the BM is a nice car to drive. So that helps. Oh, just totally took out the guy behind. Alright. Good stuff. Right. Let's go and check out our other cars and see what we're going to do this evening. Meanwhile. So I guess there's more tactical, as we know, iRacing will do a great job on the weather. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's going to do well. I mean, the screenshot they have teased does look pretty excellent, so interested to see what they do with that. So Arito says he definitely has more pace, getting held up a bit. Yeah, I was quicker a little bit, but yeah, just wall of spray, wall of cars, not much you could do there, but good fun nonetheless. Right, so that's our kind of lower powered, you can call it a 3 litre inline 6 turbo, low powered, but that's our kind of lower powered car that we're going to test this evening. So let's take a look at something slightly different. We're going to go BDCC mode now, and we're going to do some front wheel drive and see how that reacts in the wet. So a choice of various cars to use here. Obviously we've got the BM and the Infinity, which are rear wheel drive. I reckon, let's go 2023. I'm going to go one of the Ford Napa racing cars. So we'll do Dan Roboton's car here. And of course we need a UK track, so let's go to brands. Let's keep it chaotic. Let's do Indy Circuit. Make sure we get all the 2023 BTCC cars. There we go. Make sure we got our session settings the same. No, we got a. It's going to be scripted, but we're going to just go. Ooh, I didn't know there was an extra one. I was just on heavy rain, so let's just do storm, shall we? Let's just go all the way. Let's storm all the way through. None of this drying up nonsense. We want full wet weather. Need the same for the race as well. Shame you have to do this every time. It doesn't just keep the settings you were running previously, but that's okay. Right. So, race time 10, yep. Random grid, ideal. Right, let's go join in. So Funky says, I do like AMS2 on a wet start, but drying track. It's always fun, isn't it? I like that dynamic because it gives you some other things to think about. So if you're trying to wonder whether it's worth coming in for a set of slicks or whether you just hang out on the wets and just see how it goes. So yeah, there's lots of elements that the rain brings in. So yeah, it's going to be fun to see how we get on with the rest of this. So Kevin says, Phil, nice to see you. It's nice to see you too, Kevin. Thanks for being here. Oh no, it's the other Kevin. Yeah, Kevin's everywhere. It's good to have you with us. Thanks for joining us, guys. Gaz says, Storm reminds me of the time we did Snetterton in the Fusca. Yeah, that went well. That went very well. Curious to know what the Fusca's going to be like on 1.5 tyres. Whether it still has the... well, it'll still have the chaotic handling, but it will be with more feel of the road underneath you, so let's see how that goes. There's so many things to look forward to. I mean, 1.5, I know it's been hyped up massively in the sim racing community, but I do think 1.5 is going to be good, and there's just so much for us to try, so it's going to be epic. Right, what we're going to do, because there's not 29 cars in the real BTCCs, we're going to kick out the imposters here. Butch Jameson, another BTC driver, out you go. Who else? Devin Adams, never heard of you. Let's we go. Yeah, Sam Finkel, imposter, gone. Willpower really, he's not in it anymore, but no, he won't do that. I think that's it. Yeah, we're good. Right. So let's, before we go out on track, do the usual. Don't want mediums, we want wets. So let's start off on the basic setup on wet tyres and see how we go. So front wheel drive this time. So very different, and yeah, curious to see how we're going to get on here. So big difference now, of course, is where we were trying to balance the car with oversteer on the right foot with some oversteer. Now, when the rear end comes around, we're going to have to increase our throttle to bring the front end back around again. So very different driving skills required here. Let's see if we have it in the bag as the Ford Focus just about manages to turn over. Right, lights on, wipers on. The Fusca's is funky. The Fusca handles the same in all conditions. It's just sideways everywhere. Fingers crossed 1.5, yeah, I think we all are very much looking forward to that, but good signs with the Warmer Inter and other bits and pieces as well, so good signs. Funky 1.5 had better not spoil the 74 RSR. I know, that's the worry, isn't it, that it's like it's going to ruin your favourite car, but I'm pretty sure it won't. Sonic says, you'll need to do a new Bathurst challenge when 1.5 drops. You know what, I was actually thinking that before the stream this evening. I was thinking we need to do that because obviously the lap times are all going to be different now. It's all changed. Maybe we'll do it on the old Bathurst. That might be fun. Right. Out into the weather. Right. Very damp, soggy Brands Hatch. Love the water effect on the wiper there. You can see the line where it's just wiped it away. Right. Wheelspin City, everybody. Okay. Down into the bottom of the hill and up towards Druids. Blue flags everywhere because I'm late out of the pit lane. Oh goodness, okay. This already is very, very different. So we've already got puddles on the track, so something to be aware of through the Indy circuit section. Puddle on the inside there. Okay, so what we're now finding is it's a difficult situation because you need to have a little bit of throttle on to try and help pull the front end around the corner, but if you put too much on, you start floating towards the edge of the track, so that is very much a balancing act of how much throttle you actually do apply. Catching up with one of the Hyundais here, Nick Halstead I think it is. 300 horsepower in the wet. In the front wheel drive car. Quite the challenge. Let's try it in. The good thing is you know when you just got too much throttle on because you get that power understeer feeling where the steering just goes really, really light. Okay. Soggy. Uh-oh, that's late. Okay, no, we're okay. I honestly thought we were going to introduce ourselves to the beach then, but all good. Again, doing the forced wet line around the outside, fighting for not getting the thing stopped. So yeah, so just going back to what you guys are saying, so Kevin M says, agree some cars are pretty great as is, a shame if get tweaked in the wrong direction. Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. Come on. There we go. Sonic says the 74 RSR is in safe hands. Good. It's good to know. Not sure third gear is right for Paddock Hill. So Kevin says, amazing how rain effects on older title like RF2 can look so good. Honestly, I think they are some of the best looking wet weather effects out there. It looks really natural, doesn't it? I mean, the lighting's good, and yeah, just the overall feel. You can tell that you're in a wet race. It looks rather nice too, right? Because the lap here is so short, you get plenty of practice on each corner, but you also don't get too many opportunities to take stock of what's going on here. So Raymond says really like the BTCC cars. Yep, they are very good. And it's excellent now we have a full grid of them as well. You can really make the full use of them. It's just massive understeer going through Paddock Hill. Just desperately trying to drag it over from the left to the right hand side of the track there for Graham Hill Bend. This really is very much about feel, this setup with front wheel drive. It just looks like we're just tiptoeing around, but then you need to in these conditions, because otherwise you'd just be measuring the length of your car and the barriers. Just got to avoid all that standing water as much as you can, even though there's a big puddle on the apex there. There's a little better through there. Currently sitting P12, so not the quickest. So we've got our work cut out here. Right, I reckon what we need to do is go make some changes. Let's go back to the garage. We have our wets on, but I reckon there's more we can do here. So 40 litres of fuel in for a start. So here now you can start messing around with things like your diff. We won't get into that right now, but I think first things first, let's do what we did before. Let's take some camber off. Let's take 10 clicks of camber off there. And oh, we're going to take 5 off the back, so that's fine. Let's see what else can we do. So brake bias, let's move that back like we were hoping to do. Take it back 5 clicks there. As I said earlier, so that's to relieve some of the pressure on the front of the car with the braking. So obviously the grip levels are so much lower that you don't have the bite on the track. So when you have that much pressure going to the front wheels, you can easily lock them up and then you're off. So you even them out a little bit by sending more brake bias to the rear of the car. You do need to be aware of the back end coming around, but we'll work that out as we go. Spring rates, let's drop those down 3 clicks there. Anti-roll bar, soften that off on the front. Not quite sure what all the numbers mean, but we'll go 4 clicks down. So by doing that, meaning we have a little bit more roll, which might help with some grip through the corners and getting some traction underneath us. So let's try those settings for now and see how we get on. Fire it up. torque understeer is for real. It is. It's a real thing, and we're experiencing it. It's one of the Toyotas ahead of us there. So Personic says, I use an app called RF2 Settings Widget, which does a great job with the graphics. Oh, okay. Add sweet effects and good VR settings, worth a look. Okay. I will definitely check that out. Wheel spin everywhere. Right. Now, of course, you do need a little bit of tyre temp in the wet. You also don't want them getting too hot, so you don't want to melt the tread blocks. Let's see how this goes in terms of overall feel on the track. Still understeering like crazy through that. No. Oh. Keep the power on. Well, the gravel's pretty forgiving, thankfully. Real life, that would have been submarine mode. Of course, we have the hybrid kicking in here as well. You can see with the blue light coming on the dash. Oh, slow. Okay, I'm not sure whether it's actually working to a good level just yet. A few more laps and we'll see how we get on. Now coming out the pit lane just at the right time.
I want a refund if you don't make the top 10 grand.
Oh, thank you for that. Thanks for the thanks for the £5. I'll do my best to get a top 10. It's looking a bit tricky at the moment. Oh, as if the pressure wasn't enough with all you guys watching. I've now got to perform too. So 57.6 is the time for us to beat here. Let's see if we can do that. I doubt it at this stage. I'm not entirely sure that the settings have helped, to be honest. Feels a little bit more wayward, actually. Obviously, front-wheel drive has a very different way of setting up as well, so... And of course the track could well be getting wetter too, which might not be helping our cause. Really have to be so gentle. We are catching the cars ahead though, so that's encouraging. Let's stick with that. Okay, let's go back to the garage then. Something is clearly not quite right. Let's put those back up a couple of clicks, and we'll just put those back up a couple of clicks as well. Right, camber, let's just go less severe with those, shall we? See what else we can change on here. Let's do a quick damper change here. Same kind of things as we were doing before. Right. So Kevin Barber says, I find that some RF2 mods, the engine sounds are missing. The recent 70 sports car is an example. Well, I have found that some of the older DLC, like the Riser one, is some of the sounds are a little bit lower than others are. Yeah, this is properly wet now, look at this. Kevin M2 in hot seconds since I've been RF2. Alright, let's see what those changes have done for us, if anything. In fact, I've got my dial here set for... It should be for ABS, but actually no, I think it's the other one, isn't it? Hang on. Let's see if that works. Pretty sure you should be able to adjust... Oh no, that's ABS, not brake bias, that's why. I should change that. In the meantime, we'll get a lap in and see how we go with these new changes. Feels a bit better already. Full concentration required. And this is a very different experience to the BMW. Let's keep it tight through clearways here. Try and get the wheel straighter earlier. And see what the time's going to be over the line here. That's quicker. Oops, double shift. Sorry, engine. So it was marginally quicker. We have broken into the top 10, so that's good encouragement. Bit of a funky. That's with the track getting wetter as well, so... Obviously, taller gears help with trying to reduce some of the wheel spin. And short shifting as well. Okay, over the line again. We are catching cars again, so that's good to see. Except too busy looking at lap times and not looking at braking points. Okay, right. Well, let's do this. Let's we don't need 40 laps. Let's take some fuel out and then we'll go through to the race and see where we are. So what we need here is a really nice position at the front of the grid, just to give me a bit of a help out there. Probably should be out the back like last time, but where are we? Okay, we're a little bit further forward, we're 21st. So only the 11 positions to find, okay? So not too bad. Dan Lloyd on pole. Oof. Andrew Watson up there as well. And Brendan Pearson, all this. People you wouldn't expect to see at the front. Where's Ash? Oh, he's not far ahead of us. We've got to get past Ash. Right, okay, so 10 minutes. Indy circuits, Brands Hatch. In storm conditions. Quick toe flex. Right, let's go. Don't want to roll forward here. Catch a penalty. way. She's on the grass on the left. And the Astra's alongside. A caution through the first corner here. Again, the track surface is less wet right now, so we need to make the most of that. Oops, sorry, Josh. Touring cars. Apologies. There we go. We'll plant it and get out of it quick. Thankfully saved us there. We got turned around by, who was that? In the... Oh, Rory Butcher turning us around in the Toyota. All the Toyotas ahead of us here. Let's get past one of them. Cool, that's that done. Let's see what happens with these two side by side into Paddock Hill. See if we can sneak into that battle. All the spray ahead. Just tuck in behind. Sniff the paint on the bumper. It's so easy to get unsighted in the pack. Come on, guys, let's go. It's going to get slower than this. Sneak up the inside. Vision is quite impaired. That's okay. It's all part and parcel of racing in the rain. Let's go around the outside of the other Toyota here at Paddock Hill. P15, right. 5 more spots to go. Jake Hill in front of us. Nudge. Bit of a gap there, maybe. Use a bit of the curb and the grass. Alright. Oh, our teammates up front here, who's that? Tom Ingram. Cars on the inside. Oh, it's down. Camish in front of us. Alright.
Good to see you back, smiley face.
There's just traffic everywhere. Alpasonic, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's good to be back. It's been a while. And truth be told, just been lacking a bit of motivation. So, thank you for everyone being here this evening and for reigniting that motivation. For your company as always. Right. The inside of Dan, excuse me, coming through. Okay, around the outside of the Hyundai. Just trying to spot your turn-in point for turn 1 there. I need to up the wiper speed here a little bit. P13 now. Probably the Cooper's in front. It's all a big train right now. No DRS involved in this one, though. It's the grass. Come on. Send it inside. There we go. Gap opened up. I go with that. It really is just playing with the throttle. Side by side contact there, but all good. Oh, Jake's coming back through. Good move. See if he's following through. He's created a bit of a gap there. Ooh, one of the Coopers is off. Right, let's split the pack. We're 3 wide. There's 10th position we're in now. Let's see if we can go any better than that. Got an inside line on the Honda. Cool. Mr. Sonic says that the Fusca in 1.5 will be all the motivation you need. Okay, good to hear. I think once that drops, I think I'll be, all over that. Even more. Trying to close the door on us there, but then open it again. They're going to tell me twice to get in that gap. It really is just a case of just threading needles and putting your car in the right positions in this race. Alright, things are spreading out in front here a little bit. A little nudge, but it's okay. We're on the outside here though. So everything says totally Pasonic. We need a Fusca community race against it. Yes, we do. Maybe not in storm conditions though. You can tell I haven't been doing proper races for a little while because, or you can't tell, I can tell. Because the ball of my left foot is aching. Leaning so hard because I got the stronger of the elastomers in the back of these Invicta pedals here, so it is like pushing hard against a wall. Come on, boys, let's go. Jake's making moves here as well. Look at him carving through the field. Follow him. Right, okay. To P4 now. It's a podium possibility. Let's see if we don't run off the track. So as I said at the beginning of the race, very, very different experience driving front-wheel drive car in the rain. Okay, well, Dan Lloyd's actually dropped back from his pole position start. BMW's to the front actually. Oop, gotta run. Welcome to OJ. Says hit the like button. Yeah, please do. Consider hitting the like button. Helps us get the video out there for more people to see. Gotta be so patient on that throttle. Really do. So Frankie says, tried the Formula... Sorry, Fusca versus Formula Junior. The Junior is too quick. Oh, okay. What about the Fusca versus the Formula V? Have we done that before? I can't remember if we have. Right, we're on the podium. Let's see if we can go for a win. I don't know how much time is left in this race, but we're only just there. And they're battling, so there's a chance. We might be able to get in front here. car is definitely feeling happier in these conditions than originally first thought, so that's okay. Yeah, it has been a while, Tojo. It has. I do apologise for that. It's one of those things. It's been a mixture of hectic life and just not knowing what to do. These guys are slow through here. Come on. Ooh, double shift. No. I am doing well, thank you, Toji. I hope you are as well. It's good to have your company. Oh, there we go. There's the checker flag. Probably needed another couple more laps, but podium nonetheless. Can't complain with that. So, and top front wheel drive too. So, well, there we are. Managed to get through the field quite nicely there. But then they were very bunched up. Yeah, that was good. So that's front wheel drive touring car. We've done kind of roady type car, touring car. It's sports car time next. The touring cars are very good to drive. So let's go select our next weapon of choice this evening. So let's do the cover car here. We have the Corvette C8R, the GTE. Beautiful car. And for this one, we will take it to a larger circuit, one that's also quite renowned for being wet every now and again. Spa-Francorchamps. We'll do the regular pits on this one. And let's add in some opponents here. Let's add all of the GTE class. Add some GT3 as well. We'll do LMP2s and LMP3s. We'll add some LMHs as well. Let's just remove the GT3s actually. We have a reasonable grid of all of those. Need to make sure we edit our sessions. Okay. Storm mode. Engaged. Oops. And then the race, same as well. Right. That's it. I think that's everything. So let's go. So still feel AMS2 feels a bit strange, even with almost the 1.5. Okay, well, let's see what 1.5 does. I'm confident that the feel on the road will be better. We'll see how we get on. Hectic life is better than not a hectic life. This is true. This is true. Family, kids, they make your life busy, so it's one of those things. It's good. Wouldn't have it any other way. Thanks, Funky. We made it. We made a top 10. Toji says, try the Formula V in RF2, the Riser Pack. It's one of my all-time favourite cars in sim racing. I have got the Riser Pack in RF2, so yeah, I'll have to give it a try at some point. But the original Formula V is a real challenging car to drive. It's very prone to rotating very easily. So yeah, it's a difficult car to drive. Especially a difficult car to drive fast as well. But yeah, Spa-Francorchamps, if there's anywhere better to take a GT car around. Right, let's go to the garage. Take off the softs, add some rain tyres, and let's go. So what have we got? Some LMP3s, some 2s. No hypercars at all, so that's fine. It's only the van wall, I think, is the hypercar, so not missing out too much. Right, let's go. So engage the flat plane crank V8. Lights on, wipers on. Let's go. Marshall down at the bunker there. Make way for the dentist coming out. I was going out for a pint after the stream, but you've taken my last fireball. I do apologise. I'm sorry, Funky. You didn't have to. Completely didn't have to. But it is very much appreciated. And if you are going out afterwards, I hope you have a good evening. Here we go. Down towards Eau Rouge. In the soaking wet. Okay, I'm not going to go flat out. I think that's probably a safe bet to not do that. Right. What we do need to do is need to map my not ABS but my rate bias to one of my little rotators on the wheel plate here. Through Les Comps. Again, let's try and use as many higher gears as possible. That goes one of the LMP2s. They sound so good. High revving V8s. I also love all the reflections and the water on the road. You can see it from the red and yellow barriers in the curbs and things. It looks so cool. Right, down to Prud'Homme. Take it nice and easy through here. Just work up some confidence as we go. He's got some grip. There's a lot of aero as well, so... Now, of course, the difference we have with the GTEs over the touring cars, or the BMW M2, is the ability to use traction control. So you should be able to. Yeah, so there we go. TC's on the right hand side there. So it was on 2. I've upped it to 3, so you can use traction control to try and help with getting out of the corners a little better. So let's turn it up with 5 there. See what happens. Into the bus stop. How high does TC go? 8's the maximum. Okay. Let's run it on 8. See how it handles. Into the source. Although TC's gone back down to 7. I want it on 8. There we go. Save it? No. Save it? Save it. Yes. Whew. Okay, well, we didn't increase our C8 Corvette, thankfully. I'm going to have to check out the notes here, because even though we have TC8 on 8, it still doesn't seem to be kicking in very much. I wonder whether higher numbers means less, because that makes total sense. Okay, let's just go back to the garage a second. Look at that, coming through the gloom there. Right, let's go check out. Not there, it won't be under. Onboard TC. Oh, that's the defaulting. That's where it was on like that. That's where I changed it. So, what does it say? Okay, it doesn't actually help you anything. It just says what it is. But let's put that up to 6. Let's try that. See how that goes. No worries, Phil. I'll wash some glasses and get that point anyway. Oh, okay. That's good. At least you have that arrangement. Okay, now I can hear the TC kicking in. Alright. Not that TC completely takes away the fact that you can't just mash the throttle and let TC do all the work. You still need to drive a little bit, but it will help with minimizing some of that wheel spin. Alright, a little bit more caution through Eau Rouge this time. And the LMP2's behind me, just about to make out on the rear mirror. Now we have the addition of multi-class as well, which adds another variable into the mix. Let's get on the brakes nice and early. It's a little bit more calm coming off the corner. We're going to lock up into Rivage though. What was I thinking there? You're not in the dry, Phil. Can't brake that late. Frankie said, I miss the 90s. Better tracks, better music. Yeah, the 90s version of Spa-Francorchamps is very good, and the 90s version of Monza as well. Very popular, especially that first chicane. Catching one of the BMs in front here, so means we're doing something right at least. Whoa. Okay. Even with TC on 6, you still need to be careful. Got too carried away thinking I was catching the BM. Well, I was invincible. Clearly not. It's one of the Porsches behind me, it is. I'll let him go. We can have a listen from the onboard of the RSR. I'm getting into the 90s music debate now. Right, let's try and survive through here, shall we? As I said earlier on, curbs in wet weather is not normally a popular thing to be joining together, but sometimes you just have to take them, especially there. Alright, let's get it stopped. So yeah, that concentration from the touring cars needs to return here, because I think this is quite tricky. Need to be on eggshells almost coming off the corners. My eyes on stalk because you got quicker cars coming through as well. Pace gradually through here. So I've got a car on the outside. Let's change the speed of the wipers. That'll help with some downforce. Okay. This is where we spun last time, or spun, should we say? Not so this time. Speaking of spinning, Toya says spinning like they do in the wet at Spa. Good simulation. Double brakes through there just to make sure we're through safely, which we are. But I've said it before earlier on, I gotta admit, the atmosphere in the wet in RF2 is very good indeed. It's just so, I guess it's quite edgy, isn't it? It's quite moody looking with the colour palette and the reflections and things. It just looks so good. So I just can't wait to actually get some real simulation and wet driving in sim with racing lines. Terribly dangerous. Yeah. So you were mentioning earlier on that I don't think there's any sims that currently properly simulate a wet racing line in the wet, which is a shame, but I have hope that one day we can have that. So it tells you I'm on holiday, been away for 2 weeks now. Really miss my sim rig. Well, hopefully this is not going to help your, well, hinder your sim rig loneliness any further. I hope you're enjoying a great holiday. This is actually really, really cool. Just hunting down this Porsche in the wet whilst avoiding LMP2s. This is so good. Love it. Alright. Quick short shift to fourth just to keep the traction and momentum going. This RSR's not getting away. I think we've reeled them in a little bit through here. Left through, pull further, back on the power again. Just about here, that beautiful flat six. Well, he wasn't for being overtaken. Thankfully, there's plenty of runoff on the exit of Blanchimont there. Okay, well that's pretty cool. I do like that. Right. I think the TC is about right where it is, so let's keep that as that is for now. Let's soften the springs off at one click. We'll do a quick one click soften off of all the dampers. Yeah, well, we might just jump straight into the race, I think. Not recommended to do that, to make a change to your setup and then just go straight into the race. You should test it first, but for the interest of entertainment, let's do it. Next session. Right, so Darwin, welcome Darwin, good to have you with us. It says, how is it compared to AMS2 in the rain? Okay, it's pretty similar, I think. Monkey says, does the standing water cause loss of grip or just visual? I don't think the standing water has as prevalent loss of grip compared to AMS2. So AMS2, you get a big old noticeable force feedback feel when you go through a puddle like that. This in RF2 maybe not quite so much. You do notice it. It does make a difference, but I have my feedback down quite low. I'm still dialing things in. Like I have it reasonably low, but if I have it any higher, then the bumps and the curves will just kind of rip the wheel out of my hand. So I need to try and change that somehow. But you can tell that there is a little bit of a drop off when you go through the puddles, but just not quite as exaggerated perhaps as AMS2. Yes, I told you that. I do enjoy my holiday, but also good that I like my home in Simracing so much that I can't wait to get home again winning. Yes. Yeah, if you're happy either way, that's all good. MS2 rain throughout the cars in VR, also ground. Cars and ground get ghosted at the nearest spray. Makes me mad. Yeah, so the spray does tend to go through the cars, which looks a little bit odd at times, but yeah, it's not bad. Right, where are we? We're 26th again. Okay, I love that the random grid option on RF2 doesn't take into account classes. So we have LMP2s and 3s behind us. Oh well. What can possibly go wrong? Lights. Ooh, rolling backwards. This should be a rolling start technically, but I forgot to change it. So standing start it is. Clutch kick. Yeah, got absolutely mugged off the start there, but it's all good. Turn into us like that. So in this situation where you have maybe not quite as wet of a track, you'd want that TC down a little bit. I haven't got it set up properly, so I'm just going to make do with it. This is going to be all about survival at the moment, I think. As we currently sit dead last, but it's okay. It's only first lap. Things can change. Right. And we've got people on the grass coming into Lake Con. And we've got traffic. Ooh, spinner in the middle of the pack. That's what happens when you have mixed grids between prototypes and GTEs, and they're all spread throughout the grid. Carnage. That is our friend in the RSR. Let's see if we can get past him this time without being run off the track. Let's try that. Oops, that's the limiter fill. Just desperately trying to pick out the lay of the land in front of me here. Trying to go down a second too early there. Stick at the inside of the RSR. We're on the wrong side of the track here though. Ooh, a bit of a bump once again. Another the RSR is having a moment. So, Taser, are you practicing for anything special? No. This is purely just because we've had a lot of rain in the UK. So I figured let's do some rain racing in the sim. Just focus specifically on the rain and just see what it's like. Do something a bit different. Have some fun with it too. Bumper to bumper through the bus stop. Key with this is to try and accelerate without having the TC kick in. And if it does get too aggressive, then it will show up and help me out. Keep it straight over the top of the hill there. It's the best thing you can do. Right, well they've got away from me a little bit there, but it's okay. I reckon we can reel them back in again. The prototypes coming through. You go and disturb the guys ahead and we'll use you to help get back through again. Need to get on with it though. Of course, you just blast past them in a straight line, how it always goes. You get caught by the prototypes in the corners, and then you get overtaken on the straights. Okay, there we go. As mentioned, we're back up with them again. This definitely seems to be our stronger part of the circuit. Oops, lock up. Easy does it. There we go. Just trying to drive with my fingertips at the moment, just trying to feel for every possible little indication of traction loss, just to be one step ahead of it. Braking for Blanchiment. See if we can launch one up the inside here. Oh, that's a lockup. That was clumsy. Cut back through here. Where's everyone gone? Oh, he's there. That's fine. We'll let him through as well. That was payback for practice. No harm, no foul. We're back in it. Up and running again. Just spread out a little bit more now. Yes, there's a puddle forming on the inside there as you come onto the Hemel Straight. More prototypes trying to force their way through. Another one there as well. Come on. You realise I'm battling with the GT cars here? That's one of the P3s. Shame they're going away from the V8s. I think, is it next year? Going V6 rather than V8s. Because the big rumbly V8s do sound quite nice in those P3 cars. It's just stuck in the middle, there's a sandwich between two 911s. We're kind of stuck behind them as well. Not making any progress on trying to get through these cars here. But with patience, we might be alright. So I'm inspired. We'll do RF2 and then rain next in my next to my rig. Oh, cool. Yeah, definitely worth a go. I'm enjoying it. Even excited. Well, there we are. Let's change some of the stigma in sim racing. Let's go do more wet weather stuff. It's all very well and good in the dry, bring laps down, going faster and faster. Sometimes it's good just to slow things down and try something a bit different. Left foot's killing me. I want snow, says Pasonic. Yeah, you can get snow in Project Cars too, can't you? I wonder whether they can properly do it in AMS as well. right with them now. Come on. Let's try and make a move in this infield part of the lap. Tiptoeing. Have we possibly rounded up one of them? I think we have. Or is he still... Oh, yep, we got him. Cool, right. On to the next. Steady. Ooh. Right. Let's see if we can get the inside here. Ooh, look at that. 2 in a lap, what's going on? Let's just see where we're going now. For a little bit, anyway. Until we catch up with this other 911 in front of us here. And actually turn our wiper down a little bit now and we can see where we're going a bit better. Yeah, so much more confidence through there now. We can see where we're going. Really aggressive. Traction control out of there. Probably over aggressive actually. Thank you, sausage curb. Put us back on track. One of the only times it helps. That's why you say you gotta get steering straight over the top of the hill there because it's so easy to just snap like that. Much later braking point for Lake Comp. Now we know where we can brake. So Project Cars 2 Nords and the Ford Escorts in the night. That's my go-to when I need to meditate. Okay. Well, does that promote the meditation afterwards because you've got to try and come down from that, or is that... or is that the meditation? Yes, so we have dirt coming to AMS2 with the Rallycross, which I'm super excited for. Love a good bit of Rallycross. It's good to see we have the cross cars as well. I'm really keen to see how those go. Yellow flag, what's going on here? One of the P2s has lost it. Don't rejoin in front of me, thank you. It's good, after a while you kind of get yourself into a really nice rhythm and you can kind of, you almost don't think about it anymore, so this is normal for me now, so you kind of, you normalise things because of driving it for so long. We are gaining on this 911 as well. Even 5th that time. Some more cars up ahead here as well. But I do feel we're probably running out of laps here. Yeah, in fact that looks like that's the end now. Yep. The light board was a giveaway at the end of the straight there. So that's P21 overall, so not sure where we are when it comes to the actual class system here, but that was really fun. I enjoyed that. It was a little hectic at the start with cars everywhere, but some good battles, and nice to just kind of thread our way through, and yeah, good fun. I mean, let's just go back a little bit here as well. Oh, this is our double overtake here. Let's just go enjoy this for a second. Almost came back at us on the exit. But thought better of it. It's got a really nice run out of there, and then saw a gap, went for it. Very nice. Again, looking fantastic. So where were we overall in our till P2s found their way through? So we were 6th in GTE. There's quite a few behind us as well, so that's alright. Upper end of a thing, upper end of the grid. Okay. Sorry, sounds so loud. Okay, so what have you guys been saying? So, Funky says, I'd love to see Pikes Peak in MS2, modern and historic, all dirt. That'd be cool. That wasn't... We had Pikes Peak not long ago, didn't we? I think that was... didn't really hear much of it. I know it was on, but I didn't hear much of what was going on. But yeah, that would be pretty fun. Pikes Peak is good. It's quite a challenge. Especially if you have snow near the top as well. Right. I guess that Pikes Peak will come to MS2 as a mod at least. Yeah, potentially. Snow, Nords, Night, and Escort. It's like meditation. Styles, white snow from the lights and drifting around. Also the sound of the ice, magical and relaxing. Okay. Cool. Good to go. So I never felt that way driving my old Escort Mexico in the snow. Yeah. Clenching time. Right. So we've done saloons. We've done touring cars, we've done GTs. Let's go open wheel. I think it's only right, if we're talking about driving in the rain in a single seater, I think it's only right that we try and recreate something here. I'm going McLaren. We're going to drive the MP4 8. And I think you know where this is going. So we're going to run the... max downforce setting. Sounds like a bit of me. Right. Where are we going to take this then? We're going to have to take this to one place in particular. Donington Park. And anyone know why I'm doing this, for example? Problem is... we don't have the rest of the grid, so we're going to just have a grid full of McLarens. That's fine. Okay, make sure we get our weather right. There's that, and then the race. Oops. Okay. Random standing start. Okay, that's good. Let's go. Sergey, look at you having had a Mexico. Yeah, that's back when there was something ridiculous, like I don't know, £1,000 or something. I don't know. I remember my dad saying that the Anglia he had his dad buy from was something ridiculous, like £700 or something. Probably even less than that, actually. Yeah, crazy. Terje enjoys driving in the snow in real life too. All-wheel drifts and normal ones. Do you get a bit of snow your way, Terje? Yeah, it's always fun in the snow. I don't have a particularly suitable car for the snow right now, but it's good fun. Right. Embrace my inner Ayrton here, and let's see how we get on. So, having had such luxury of having a roof, now we're out in the elements. We're actually going to be getting soaked. So I hope you brought your your waterproofs, guys. Let's go in and give ourselves some hard tires. Hard tires will just be absolute death. Take some fuel out. Hear the sounds of other cars leaving the pit lane. So the other thing here, we'd have to worry about putting lights on or wipers. So it's a bonus. Funky says, I saw some poor guy crawling up a Goodwood Hill on an M23. He even looked scared through the hill. Yeah, it was a bit wet yesterday. Alright, is this paddle shift? I think it is. So it turns out I live in Norway, so snow will come. Yeah. Always wanted to visit Norway. Right, here we go. All these McLarens coming out. This is going to sound amazing. Right, here we go then. Oh well. From a time before pit lane speed limiters spoilt. Ah, of course, this thing actually has auto shifting, which is how the car was in real life, so don't have to worry about any shifting at all in this, just purely hanging on. Beautiful V8 sound on the right hand side there. Again, this is all about feeling where that grip is, if there is any at all. Grand Prix layout, so through the chicane we go. To the left is... Whoa! Okay. There's the limit. Tyres are scrubbing over the surface of the road. Okay, well let's come into the pits and clear this penalty, otherwise we're going to have that little red arrow symbol hanging over us for the entire overview of the session. We'll try not to speed in pit lane as we do so. Alright, let's crawl along. Right. Pit lane guys go to work. Yeah, so I believe it did have an auto gearbox. It actually shifted itself. So, I don't know, the purist in me is like, I'd rather not have an auto gearbox, but it's got to put up with it. Is that not clear? It hasn't, has it? Let's go back to the garage and see if that's going to... No, it isn't. Right. Only one thing for it. Restart the weekend. Totally erase that misdemeanor, and then all good. Now we can just go and Sergio Perez our way down to the end of the pit lane and wait for the green light to appear. Slowly. Oh, I bet I did it again. Let's have this feeling. Right, green light. Ah, we're good. Excellent. Right, now we have a nice clear track in front of us as well. Oh, hang on. Having restarted the weekend, has that put my tyres back to being slicks again? Doesn't feel like it. Might have to double check though. Tell you what, for a wet track, this thing still has quite an element of grip. What a bird then? I didn't properly see what that was. One thing about being in an open cockpit car, you can hear the tyres very easily. So you know when you're abusing them too much. Right, off we go. This thing certainly goes very well. That might be helped by our high downforce setting, but we do need that around Donington. Lots of quick corners. Heading back to the 1993 European Grand Prix here at Donington Park, which of course was the memorable one where Ayrton went from, I think it was 4th or 5th off the start to leading at the end of that one. Yeah, there's a bird. There's another one flying around there. Now, of course, the chicane on the Grand Prix loop was a little bit tighter actually back in the day. It's open now, more of a quick chicane. The Melbourne loop is a very difficult corner to get right. Obviously very, very slow, but you got downhill braking and then trying to get the power down uphill on the exit, so a bit of a challenge in the wet. Alright, the rooster tails in front say that someone's coming out of the pits and we've got to catch up with them at some point. Just feel the rear end just breaking loose all the way down the crane of curves. It's quite a terrifying experience. Gotta have quick reflexes. Whoa. Raining at Donington, that's usual. Yeah, happens quite a lot here at Donning. But also, it's especially slippery at Donington Park when it rains because of the aviation fuel dumped by all the planes as they take off from East Midlands Airport. So, in real life, very treacherous when it's wet. Even more so than a regular wet track would be. Just being oh so careful on that throttle on the exit there. In fact, I think there was one of these testing at Donington just recently. Not sure if it was this exact McLaren model, but of a similar era. Yellow flag, someone's had a moment down the bottom of the hill. There it is. So you know what they say about yellow flags is slow down and prepare to stop. That's why you do that, rather than just keep your foot in like I did. Taking into account that people might just be joining when you least expect them to. Well, we're not last, but we're also not particularly high up the order here, given that we're all driving the same car here, so it should be a little bit further than that, but P16 so far. Just like squeezing the throttle on as gently as possible. Like you have a melon underneath it. The AI are far braver than I am around here. That's why. crunch. Okay, let's go back to the garage. And... noise of those things. Let's just check. Yeah, we are on the wets. That's good. At least it kept that. Soften off again like we usually do. Anything else we need to do here? Alright, let's try that. We'll do a couple of laps in this new setup change and then we'll jump into the race and see how we get on. I suspect we could be in all sorts of trouble. So all sims have pit speed penalties, why can't they have yellow flag penalties as well? Yeah, it's a good point. I think there are some sims that should have, well, we have full flag rules on. But yeah, I don't know whether it actually penalises you for overtaking under yellows or not slowing down under yellows. I don't think they do. I already feel there's less grip on the outlet. Funky says, I have to head. It's been a pleasure as always, everyone. Take care until next time. Oh, thanks, Funky. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. We'll see you next time, absolutely. That's if I survive driving the McLaren around a wet Donington Park. The temptation here is to grip the steering wheel even tighter, but it's probably one of the worst things you can do. Because that means everything else tenses up to your shoulders, everything as well. So you want to make sure everything is as loose as possible so you can feel what's going on. It's that puddle. Yeah, it's just those little snaps of oversteer as you go through the craners there, which are rather unsettling. And that. Ooh, that's the curb in the grass. This corner is always a tricky one, with the blind apex at the top of the hill. Well, somehow we're catching a couple of cars here, so that obviously means you're about to spin. Right. Well, let's just jump straight into the race. Let's do it. Session controls. Next session. Yeah, no problem, Toji. Absolutely. Yeah, great to have you with us. Thanks for your company as usual. Yeah, hope you have a good night. We're just going to finish this one race off, and then that'll be us for the evening. So let's see. We're going to be starting P18 here, I think, was it? Yeah. Okay, so we're mid-grid here. So anything can happen in the next 10 minutes. Right. Let's see, we're on the outside here going into turn 1. Alright. Oh, we've got advertising boardings going all over the place. Of course, no brake lights. So you have to be careful and not get bullied by other McLarens. Got a bit of sunshine trying to come through there, look at that. Whoa! I thought we'd missed it for a moment. Let's restart that. Are you in the white and red one? No, I'm in the red and white one. I'm in the white and red one, that's what I meant. Okay. Better start that time. There goes the advertising board. We've got ourselves to the inside, sort of. Let's try and avoid the carnage. Okay. Everyone's behaving down into old hairpin for now. Get a bit of a moment out of there. Let's see if we can capitalise on that one. I'm obviously not going to lead at the end of the first lap, but I feel we've gained a couple of positions. We have. Okay, thankfully, or hopefully, things will calm down a little bit now, settle into a rhythm. Whoa! Oh, the sun trying to come through there, that's really cool. All on the grass. So another one for us, thank you. Wow. Spot your turning points down here, guys. Sparks flying as well. Oh, who's that spinner? We avoided it. I think if we can keep out of trouble, we might be alright. Just rolling out of the braking zones a little early just to make sure we get ourselves stopped and not rear end the car in front. It's like a car park at the bottom of the hill. The sun is definitely trying to come out. It shouldn't be though. Alright. I think we may have rounded that guy up as well. P13 now. It's probably on the inside. I'm going to give a bit of room there. I think we've cleared him now. Let's see if we can get ourselves into a top 10 here. That would be nice. Whoa. Giving something to think about. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Split the atom down the middle there. There's our top 10 straight away. Just like that. Oh, this sounds so good. Whoa, that was aggressive defending. Thankfully the guy saw me coming through there. Oh. I was caught out by the other guy swerving into me. I broke just a little bit too late. Right. Bruce McLaren will be proud. Let's chase mode on. We'll go serious for a moment. Even more epic. Stuck on. Right, well that was a successful chase mode. Got ourselves up to P4 now. Right. Let's see if we can hunt down a podium. The really wet weather I think is starting to play with the AI's ability. Whoa. Brake tested me in the middle of Starkies. Dodgy tactics. I just love the noise of that, it's so cool. Growling of V8. There we go, up into a podium position. Okay. Can't be too much long left in the race also, so gotta get on with this if we want to make a win. Definitely on the eggs of the chicane there, we got a really good run on the AI. Yeah, very aggressive. I don't know where he is, but you can still sort of hear him. Oh, no! It's too generous with the space there. Somehow I managed to hang on to our third position. Oh, someone's come out the pit lane. Didn't even check our fuel situation, you know, so I don't know how much we've got. Hopefully it's enough. The plane coming in the distance there, you can just see through the murk. So that one's the lap traffic, who's actually getting out of the way. Very cool. Now this is for P2. It's defending down to the chicane. On the outside? Sure, why not? Come on, one more position. Let's see if we can get this last guy. We have one more lap, that's what we need. Let's weigh this up a little bit here and just try and do this properly. Whoa. That wasn't the way I was expecting to do it or wanting to do it, but we'll have to take it. Pick himself out there a little bit. Now we just need to bring it home in one piece. And breathe. All good. Two more corners to go. Oh, nearly over-rotated into the hairpin there. Easy on the throttle, and away we go. Yes, there we go. That was it. That was the one more lap we needed. And finish off with a win. Oh, look at that. Well, that was heaps of fun. I really enjoyed that. It's good to do something a bit different and experience the rain here in rFactor 2. It's good to be in rFactor 2 as well. Really enjoyed driving these cars this evening. So we'll have to do some more RF2 coming up in the future as well. But yeah. So what have we learned about racing in the rain then? Well, you've got to be super careful with all of your inputs. That's the first main takeaway from that. So your throttle, your brake, your steering, everything's got to kind of come together and merge into one seamless, smooth overall input, and that's what you got to do. Obviously making setup changes is a big thing as well for getting the most out of the car really, but you know, you can still do reasonably well on very limited setup changes. So, and it's good for improving your car control. So if you feel like you need some assistance in trying to control the car when it goes sideways, the rain's a perfect opportunity to do that. So yeah, good fun. Hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this afterwards what your favourite where the combo is, and I'll definitely have a go at that myself. But yeah, thank you for your company this evening, guys. Thank you for taking your time out of your Saturday evening to spend with me here in rFactor 2, and for all your support as usual. It does mean a lot to know you guys like what we do, so yeah, big thank you to all you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.